Welcome back, Rellism Sports Talk, episode 67.
To Rellism Sports
Yeah.
Talk with your host,
Big day
Rel
today.
Chicken.
Big day today. Big day today. Rellism Sports Talk, episode 67. Thank y'all for checking out our Facebook page and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Really appreciate the love out there. Checking us out on podcasts. And the merchandise. I see merchandise is being sold. Let's go. And don't forget the Raw merchandise is coming out soon. And if you don't know what the Raw merchandise is, Friday Night Fire, man. Me, Tommy, Drew, Chris, and others join in. And we get it on. Rellism Raw on Friday nights. But it's kind of late when we do it. So if you're not checking it out live, you're probably checking it out Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? But we've got a new segment called Say What. We start off with. We talk about all the crazy things that we just said in the last episode. And you'd be surprised at stuff we be saying over top of each other. You know what I'm saying? And then episode 2, because we always have to do 2 because it's not enough time to do 1. Part 2 is big time storylines. And we get it in, talk about the big time storylines, and we all give our feedback on it. So today, episode 67, we talking about another NFL lawsuit. The Bengals get another repeat win over the Chiefs. Third time was the charm for the Rams over the 49ers. The GOAT, the man himself, Brady, the man in the mirror, the man that a lot of them want to be. Mahomes want to be. He ain't. They hanging it up. He's finally hanging it up. He left us hanging for a minute. Like, is he really? Is he not? Is he going to? What's going to happen? But he hanging him up. Coaches getting hired. And then there's some options for them other ones. I'm going to throw out 2 right now when we get there. But the first big time storyline that we're going to talk about on Friday, of course it's going to be the lawsuit. Of course it's going to be the lawsuit. But before we start the lawsuit, let me just say, I mean, it just happened a couple of hours ago, man. A few hours ago, I was driving Uber and I heard it in the car, and I'm like, oh, let me turn this up. What? But the NFL already out here defending them. They already defending against the claims. Teams already coming out here defending against all this stuff. You don't even know everything he said, and you out here you defending already? Already you defending? I mean, it's one thing to be like, yo, we don't know what he has to say, but you coming out, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. I mean, I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? But I think even before we get to that point, the bigger issue and the biggest problem is what has always been. I mean, all this sugarcoating stuff in racism on helmets and end zones being this and Black Lives Matter this being spray painted on something. None of that matters. All that is just it's a sugarcoating over what the problem really is. The problem really is that we have to have a Rooney Rule anyway. Why do we have to have a Rooney Rule anyway? Why can't people say, hey, he's the better person for the job? I'm going to interview this person right here, da-da-da-da. Imagine if we had a Rooney Rule for everything that happened in life. How crazy would that be? Then we would never get past anything. It would always be like, okay, well, make sure we interview a woman candidate now. Make sure we hire a Mexican candidate now. Make sure we do it. Yeah, I know how big time businesses are, and I know you got to have token ones in certain places. Ooh, did I say the token word? Yeah, I said the token word. But I get it. I know how it happens. But I'm just saying, man, when you come up with a rule that says you have to interview these people, how serious are people really taking that rule anyway? How serious are they? People come up in their mind what they want when they want it. Period. You don't go look at a girl and be like, ooh, I want to ask her out on a date. But I better be fair. I better go ask that black girl too. And then I better go ask that Spanish girl too. I don't want to discriminate. No, you pick and choose what you want. Now that's a little far-fetched thing, but that's seriously. Why are you gonna interview the dude if you have no reason to? Why are you wasting his time? Why are you wasting anybody's time? If you don't want him, you don't want him. If he don't get there on his merit with his credentials, then why are you wasting everybody's time? Because the rules said I have to interview a black one. That's a slap in my face. If I went for an interview and they said, we just got you in here because we have to interview one of you kind. What? That's a slap in your face. So I think that's the biggest problem anyway, is the rule itself. Why do we have to have the rule? Why is it necessary to have that? Why can't these owners look in the mirror and say, hey, we shouldn't be picking and choosing and stuff like that. We shouldn't have to do all these different things. You know what I'm saying? Flores comes out here and he says the Dolphins owner offered him $100,000 in 2019 for each loss because he was trying to get a higher draft pick. Do I believe that? Possibly. Why not? Could it be a lie? Sure, could be. That's what I'm saying. I want to see what the facts are. But for people to say, oh, that's not true. Hold it, NFL. Hold. How do you know NFL? How do you know what each team is doing? You don't know what each team is doing. You don't know what Bounty Gate's doing. You don't know what Spygate was doing. You don't know what any of these other teams is doing. You don't know what they were doing. So how you automatically coming out an hour later talking about, not us? Come on, man. And then he said the interview for the Broncos job, John Elway was an hour late, and you could tell he had been out all night drinking. Could that have been true? Maybe. Could it be a lie? Could he be bitter because he got fired in Miami after having 2 of his 3 years winning? When the last time that happened for Miami? What, 2001? I mean, when was that? When was that? I'm just saying. We already know why did he get fired in Miami? Oh, he couldn't get along with somebody. Could there be some rooted things that went on that why he couldn't get along? Because they were trying to make him do certain things? I mean, I don't know. But if you look at the Dolphins roster, and my boy Brandon, who be on the show, I wish he was on there more on the Raw show. He's a Dolphin fan, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, how you just getting rid of Minka, and how you just getting rid of all these tackles, and you getting rid of all these players, you getting rid of all these star players, you just letting them go for like. And like I said, I'm one that doesn't jump the gun like that, but it could happen. I think the investigation needs to be made. And for the NFL to talk about, it definitely didn't happen. Fool me once. You tried that before, remember? And then the last one he talking about, and I don't even know how Bill Belichick got involved in this. Bill Belichick and him texting and all this going on and on, talking about, the Giants, and Bill say, you're their guy. Congratulations, my friend, da-da-da-da. And then, oops, oh no, they already got that ball and da-da-da-da. And then he had his interviews. Now, if that's true, would I be surprised? No. This goes back to the beginning thing what I already said. People already know what they want when they want it. People already know what they want. Already. Somebody could have already got fired and knew Sean Payton was going to come and going to grab him. How many times do we see this happen all the time? Somebody gets fired and then, look what just happened to be available. Look what just happened to quit their other job to go. We see it all the time. We see it in college sports all the time, college football. It's becoming crazy in college football. People going crazy. Just like the people jumping schools. You don't even know who's on what school, who's doing what anymore. It's crazy. But that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. It could be true. It could not be true. But then getting further into it, the league has been doing this for how long? Anytime somebody steps up and talks and says anything, what happens to him? I mean, did we forget already about Colin Kaepernick? Colin Kaepernick had a whole career still left. Still had a whole career left. Went to a Super Bowl. Whole career still left. Whew, nobody wants him anymore. Really? Going to baseball. Baseball with the home runs. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. Chicks love the long ball. Yo, people loved baseball. Jose Canseco come out. He telling you like it is. Everybody doing steroids. Everybody doing that. Oh, he's bitter. Oh, Jose Canseco's bitter. No, that's baseball covering their self to say that they ain't have nothing to do with nothing. And that's the problem. Big money, big business. You know what I'm saying? These guys, the good old boys, they all rolling together, man. And if you're not rolling with them, they gonna get you out of here. Flores, do I think he would have got another job? Yeah. Would he have got one this year? I don't know. Because I can see other black coaches that I thought was going to get a job last year or the year before that ain't got no jobs. Or a guy for the Texans who had the Texans with nobody on their team. I'm talking about you got rid of your running backs, your quarterback wasn't there, you trade your wide receiver, there's nobody there, and you were competitive. And you know what? You got 1 year with some sorry excuse for a team. And you're gone. Was that worth him leaving where he was at? To go do that, to get fired, to start all over again? And now to look down upon because you got fired as a head coach, black man. I'm just saying. And I hate putting race involved in it, but that's what this is about. That's what this was about. Sorry. That's what this was about. So, what does he have to gain from this? I wrote this down because I wanted to read this. This is what Brian Flores said. He said, God has gifted me with a special talent to coach the game of football. But the need for change is bigger than my personal goals. What? Because he's still young. Flores is still young. He could be coaching for a while. Unless he was a bum. But obviously he shows he wasn't. When they won 7 out of the last 8, they was on the road. Nobody wanted to play Miami in the playoffs. They were kind of scared about the little things. And he was doing it with players that weren't even there. Think about the team. He would have had more jobs. He said this is bigger than that. And he has to know what happened with Colin Kaepernick and all that stuff, man. He knows. He's not dumb. But he said, hey, I'm willing to go down the same path because this is bigger than that. What happens if somebody else comes out? What happens if more people come out saying things like this? What happens if a coach right now comes out and says that? That's why they ain't none of them in the NFL no more. Are they getting blackballed because they threaten to tell? I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, and maybe I'm throwing some theories out there, whatever, but it makes you think about so many different things. It makes you think, like, why ain't there one black head coach in the league? And it happened to be for Pittsburgh with a Rooney Rule. I mean, come on. Yo, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's just one of them things, man. And I hate to harp on it and I hope to stay on it. But like I said, on Friday Night Raw, we're gonna talk about the Rellism Raw on Friday night. We're gonna talk about that. That's our big time storyline. So bring it, fellas. Bring it, Tommy, Chris, Drew, Mon, if you on there, Keith, if you on there. Y'all better bring it, cause I got plenty more I can say, but I ain't gonna run up the whole episode on this. We'll save it for the fire show. So now the GOAT, getting to greatness now. Get away from the controversy. We're going to greatness now. The GOAT finally hangs him up. On the Raw show, we said he ain't going to. Because he's done everything. He lost. He don't want to lose that way. He did it. And he knows the last time he had the ball, he drove them all the way back to tie. He can live with that. Because he can say, hey, I did what I was supposed to do. The defense gave up a dumb bonehead play, or else you never know what I might have done in overtime. Tom Brady can live with that. Even though that's a loss, in his mind, he's kind of like, I mean, I ain't really lose. You know what I'm saying? He can be like, I ain't really lose, kind of. It's a team game, but you know what I'm saying? So we talk about Tom Brady. We say all these accolades and everything about him. But the one big thing people always say, he's a Jordan-esque. He's Jordan. You know, the best. Jordan, the GOAT, Well, here's my thing. I cannot see Tom Brady going to be like Tony Romo in the booth. I can't see him being on the show before the games talking on. No. Tom Brady's a competitor. He was a competitor. He's competitive at everything he does. He can still have family time. He can still enjoy his time. But if you talk about he's going to be like Jordan, what's that mean? Here's my Relstradamus hat right here because I can see into the future. Relstradamus, baby. Owner. He's going to own a team. And what team is out there to be owned? Because obviously we ain't going to get no black head coaches. Denver ain't going to hire they ain't going to get no black owner. Especially when you got the perfect white hope in Peyton Manning that everybody loves. Who won a Super Bowl for Denver. And everybody loves him. He could come back to Denver and be the owner. But there's one thing we forget. Who is Peyton Manning's arch enemy? Tom Brady. Tom Brady can stick it to him one more time. He can stick it to Manning one more time and take some more shit from him. Give me your team. I'm going to own the team. Tom Brady will be the owner of the Denver Broncos with his group. Whoever he gets with his group, I don't care. Tom Brady is going to own the Denver Broncos right under Peyton Manning's leg. Right under there, baby. He's going to swoop in and take it. And maybe this is the opportunity he saw. Hey. Because Tom Brady ain't going to just leave for no reason. He would leave if his parents are in bad health, or if something else in his family's going on, or if there's another option where he can be competitive again and stick it to somebody. Because he could have retired as a Patriot, whatever, but he wanted to stick it to him. He wanted to stick it to him some more. Bill, I can win without you. I'm going to stick it to you. And I won. Peyton Manning. I ain't forgot about you, baby. I'm going to stick it to you. And take the Denver Broncos. Tommy, is your head going to spin, Tommy? Is your head going to spin? If I'm right on that. And now we're going to pause for a moment from our sponsors. And I'm going to tell you, now that Brady is gone, who's Tampa going to get? Moment from our sponsors. First one sponsored by Bill Cosby and the Pudding Pops. Back at it. So, Tom Brady's gone. We look at different people. Obviously, people are going to say Garoppolo because of what happened with the 49ers and, whatever. He could be a gateway quarterback to the next one, da-da-da-da-da. Then we look at Carson Wentz because we said the Colts, they're not sold on him. Could Wentz go down there and do something with them? Maybe. They might look at somebody like him. Derek Carr. Hey, if Aaron Rodgers goes to Vegas, if Josh McDaniels wants him, hey, could Derek Carr go there? Or could it be Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers. Why? Why would Aaron Rodgers go to Tampa Bay? For the same reasons why I said he should be a Colt. You got running game. You got offensive weapons. Your offensive line's there. Your defense is good. Couple pieces on the back end, but the defense is good. You know what I mean? And the biggest reason is you're in a horrible division again. And we know how much Aaron Rodgers thrives off being in horrible divisions. That's how come he's always 13-2 and 15-1 and all this crap. That's why, because your division is horrible. And usually you go 6-0. You usually go 6-0. So why not stay in a horrible division? If you're not going to go to the Colts, go to Tampa Bay. Go to Tampa Bay. You ain't got to worry about the frozen tundra. You can be out there chilling in Tampa, Florida with your girl. Since you like to be out there chilling anyway on your vacations or whatever, finish your career in Tampa Bay and just do what Tom Brady did. Because those weapons ain't going nowhere. You ain't got to worry about Antonio Brown's craziness. They gone. You might lose Gronk, but so what? You got Cameron Brady. And I don't know why O.J. Howard don't ever get no love. He must be a bum like Fred Davis was. I don't know. But why not? And for the same reasons I said. Aaron Rodgers, Tampa Bay, or the Colts. Look, everybody's beat with me right now, yo. Tampa Bay or the Colts, Aaron Rodgers. Why not? So we talk about the quarterbacks on the move, where they might go, whatever. Coaches, I got 2 coaches that need to make these. This needs to happen for the teams. We're gonna get into the coaches that already got jobs. But the Vikings, there's rumors with him and Jim Harbaugh. I'm going to tell you right now. Jim Harbaugh, you better go ahead and take that Vikings job and do whatever you can do to get it. Why? Because if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, that division is doo-doo. That division is doo-doo. And your team is good enough to win, which is going to make you look good, and you all win. Because right now in Michigan, I think that you have went the highest that you can go. I think for Michigan, think about it. This is your first year, you caught Ohio State slipping for a year. You got shellacked in the semifinal. And I think that's your ceiling, Betty. And as a Notre Dame fan, I know what that feels like. Hey, you can get there, but you're never going to get to there. You're at the highest point right now. Because I remember 2-3 years ago, maybe even last year, they were ready to fire you. You know what I'm saying? You got an opportunity right now at your highest peak. You know what I'm saying? You coming out of high school right now. You better go get your draft. They're talking about they're going to draft you. Yeah, you better go now while you're at your highest peak right now. Go to the Vikings, get a division title, and look good with Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. Doing that little dance. I love that dance. I can't do it. But, yeah, what is it called? The Grady. I look like Grady from Sanford and Son when I do it. But anyway, my other one, Jacksonville, what are you doing? Jacksonville, you big dummies. Why didn't you hire Byron Leftwich yet? Why? He's a hero for Jacksonville. What are you doing? And the offensive mind? You need that with Trevor Lawrence. What are you doing? Jacksonville, hire Byron Leftwich. Don't mess this up. Hire Byron Leftwich. Are you serious? What's the wait for it? What's the wait for it? Do it now. All right. Number 2, coming from Rellism Raw on Friday night. Our big time storyline. Number 2, we're gonna talk about out of these 4 coaches and their situations, which one's the best opportunity? Josh McDaniels, who was the offensive coordinator for the Patriots with the Raiders. You got Dabo, the Bills offensive coordinator. Now he's with the Giants. Green Bay's offensive coordinator Hackett going to the Broncos. And then Eberflus, or whatever how you pronounce it, the defensive coordinator for the Colts going to the Bears. We're going to talk about that on Friday. I'm gonna give you my pick right now. It's definitely Dabo to the Giants. Because I think there's going to be some big-time things that we ain't thinking about is going to happen with them. I think Daniel Jones is going to stay. I think there's little bits of things about Daniel Jones that might remind them of, you know what I'm saying, of the Buffalo system and what was going on. I'm just saying it, man. I'm just saying it. I think it might be them. But we're going to save that for Rellism Raw on Friday. I like to hear what everybody else to say. But, I mean, if you talk about Hackett going to the Broncos, that includes Aaron Rodgers, then I might change my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm wearing this hat in honor of the Redskins. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow they're going to be changing their name to the whatevers. I think Theismann spilled it and he was like Commanders or whatever. I mean, what is this, arena football? What's this, World League? I know the USFL is about to start, but are we going to watch the Commanders? Watch the Commanders? Hey, we didn't watch out for the Commanders. Get out of here, man. Out of here, yo. We should have been something like, if anybody's a real Washington fan, you know what I'm saying, you respect names like the Hogs. How dope would the Hogs have been, the Washington Hogs? You know what I mean? And you can still have a hog with the Indian outfit on and all that stuff. Man, that shit would have been raw, yo. That shit should have happened. That should have happened. But whatever. Does anybody really care about that? Nobody really cares. We want to get to the game. We want to get to the games. Bengals over Chiefs. Bengals shocked the world and did it. Joe Burrow coming through. What? Did it really happen? I'm still pinching myself. Like, did it really happen? After how Josh Allen got screwed last week? I felt so bad for Josh Allen. But he's probably like this. That's what you get, Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying, you know he has to have a little bit of, But the Bengals, they say it's the tale of 2 halves. Nah, it ain't the tale of 2 halves. It's just, it's a tale of the one play before the half. One play before the half, you know what I mean? And the defensive adjustments they made at halftime. It's the same deficit as week 17. And what happened? The Bengals rallied and came back, made their adjustments, and they believed it. I remember watching the game. I think Shimon was at the house. We were chilling. And I was like, yo, that play before halftime changes the whole game. The defense goes in the locker room believing they can do this, that. You got all the momentum in the world. Chiefs could have stuffed their neck. They could have just stepped on their neck, yo. Could have. Greedy cocky got you nowhere, Mahomes. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I do like about what Cincinnati did, and I kept talking about it during the game, they're sticking to the run. No matter what the score was, they stuck to the run. Joe Mixon had over 100 total yards. He had more rushing yards than the whole Chiefs team did combined. And that includes Patrick Mahomes running crazy for different plays, running, scattering around, looking like Houdini. He still had more yards than the whole team. And the Chiefs weren't even running bad. CEH, they were doing it. Him and McKinnon, they were running. They just stopped running. Why did they stop running? Why did they stop giving them the ball? Why? What happened? Any kind of adversity happens. What happens to Mahomes? Oh, I want to resort back to being Superman. Tyreek Hill had a beast first half. Beast. The way the first half ended, he gets stopped at the 2-yard line. Don't get in the end zone. And that was the last time you touched the ball. No more catches. None. Not one catch anymore. No more catches. The Bengals got sacked 9 times last week. They got sacked once. And I saw Joe Burrow doing a little hot stepping here and there. But, I mean, this is crazy. What happened? Mahomes resorted back to trying to be him. I'm Patrick Mahomes. Watch what sidearm plays I do. Watch what I do with this. Watch what I do with that. I can make the ultimate play. I can make and it ultimately bit you. Even the coach said right before the halftime, he called to play through the middle. And Patrick Mahomes co-signed for it. He said it was his fault. He said he got a little greedy. Which brings me to my big time storyline number 3 that we'll talk about on Friday. So what do the Chiefs need to do to get back? What do the Chiefs need to do to get back? I know my answer. And I'm going to save it for Friday night. I'm going to tell you what they need to do. But you know what I did love on the side that nobody talked about? How did overtime work out? The Chiefs won the toss. It looked like, here we go again. Josh Allen probably rolling his eyes. Here we go again. Joe Burrow was pissed. He was pissed. You see his face when they lost the coin flip? Pissed off. But look what happened. What you say? Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. Forcing things. The defense changed. They sped him up a little bit. They start touching him. It wasn't as accurate. What happened? Tyreek Hill ain't got a catch the whole game. You throw it to him in overtime, the ball gets tipped, intercept, game's over. Joe Cool down the field. Boom. And that rookie kicker, McPherson, beast. I'm going to draft him in fantasy. And round 10. I'll take him. Calling it right now. Just saying. So, big time game, Joe Cool. We talk about Joe Burrow. We talk about Mahomes. And we talk about Josh Allen and who looks like Tom Brady. Let me tell you something. I saw Joe Burrow make the kind of throws and kind of things that Patrick Mahomes did. And I also saw Joe Burrow make the kind of physicality plays, running for fourth down plays, running for first downs, escaping the trouble. Looks like a mixture between the both. And then had this right here. And the demeanor of a Tom Brady? I hate even saying that. But, I mean, he instilled confidence in the Cincinnati Bengals. 2 years ago, they were the worst team in football. That's how they had the number 1 pick. It took him, and they're in the Super Bowl. This is a team game. This ain't golf. This is a team game. 2 years ago, they were the worst team in football. It's something about this kid, Joe Burrow. It's something about Joe Burrow that we might just be missing. We might be blinded by the athleticism and craziness of Patrick Mahomes or the physical girth and running ability and rocket arm of Josh Allen. Maybe we're just missing it. Maybe that Joe Cool persona is blinding us to that. But he's in the Super Bowl. And if he wins, wow. But standing his way on the other side is going to be the Rams, who just got their big win over the 49ers after losing 6 straight. Hey, twice this year. I think Jimmy G showed why they drafted Trey Lance. The way the fourth quarter was horrible. It wasn't as horrible as Patrick Mahomes' fourth quarter. Did you see his numbers? Pew. Drew is going to eat that up on Friday night. I can tell that already. Because he is a Mahomes hater. But they were up 17-7, man. They were up 17-7. And then for our fourth big-time storyline, number 4 is going to be, who's more at fault? Jimmy Garoppolo or the 49ers defense? We're going to talk about that on Friday night. I know what I'm going to say, though. And I'm going to just throw it out there, you know what I'm saying? You had personal foul hits. You had a clear interception drop ball 49 defense that could have almost solidified the game. If you look at what the score was and what time was left, you catch the ball, homeboy, and we might be talking about something totally different right now, but who's more at fault, that defense or Jimmy Garoppolo? The big-time players made big-time plays and big-time moments for the Rams. They went out here and signed all these players. Aaron Donald, you saw him stand up. Von Miller, you saw him stand up. Matthew Stafford, he been standing up. And Odell Beckham, who lost a step, can't play no more, kick him out the league, whatever. He didn't close his mouth and opened his hands and made plays. I mean, the 49ers, they gave up 2 wide receivers over 100 yards. We know Cooper Kupp's going to be Cooper Kupp. But you let Cooper Kupp beat Cooper Kupp and Odell? Both of them? I'm interested to see who's going to say who's in what fault. I can't wait to hear that debate. But my biggest thing, I think the game started off wrong. When the 49ers played the Cowboys, what'd they do? They went and punched them in the face. They went and punched them straight in the face and took their heart in the beginning and hung on and let them fall apart themselves for the win. Then they went to Green Bay. Ain't scored no offensive touchdowns, but they were physical, punching them all around, beating up Aaron Rodgers, special teams, nitty gritty. Showed their whole identity. Boom, we're gonna move Debo around everywhere. We're gonna do this and we're gonna win the game. And then you come and start the game against the Rams with Debo being your running back? What are you doing, you big dummy? Why? Debo is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. He's your ultimate weapon. Why are you showing the defense where you're putting him? You're helping them. Hey, he's going to play running back right now, guys. What are you going to... You're telling them where he's going to be at, dummy. You took away the whole illusion of where he's going to do and what he's going to do. He's going to throw it, he's going to run. You took it all away. And he got beat up last week. And you let him go take some punishment to start the game? What are you doing? Don't fall in love with one player and let him try to ride him to the end. You got to come up with better play calling than that. Come on, man. That's not the way to start the game. And I think that had a toll on everything going forward. I know they had to lead at 17-7, but I'm telling you, if you watch the game like I was watching it, things just didn't look the same for Debo and everybody else because of that first start of the game when you just let him get beat up and beat up and beat up for no reason. Let him be the running back. And I'm tired of everybody talking about, oh, he's the best running back on the team. He's the best running back on the team. But then you tell me, oh, they run through running backs because you beat them up too much. Well, why are you letting your star player get beat up too much? Why does he get beat up too much then? Why are you letting him get beat up? Why? You got running backs for that. Elijah Mitchell ain't no scrub. Elijah Mitchell ain't no scrub. We were bragging on this 6th-round pick. Oh, great job by San Francisco. Oh, you drafted him. Oh. And then you start Debo. Oh. I don't get it. I can't wait to the Super Bowl. I can't wait till Friday. I'm so glad the Rams and Bengals won. I can't wait. Can't wait. I think Drew actually called that. I need to check that. He might be the same. What? Man of the week. We'll see what happens. But before we get out of here, fantasy focus. I don't know if anybody saw, but we was talking about it over here. And we was like, the tight end's hurt. The tight end is hurt for the Rams. Dang, Higbee's out. Enter Kendall Blanton. This dude looked all right. Let me find out he's going to be a fantasy somebody. 5 catches, 57 yards. If something happens to Higbee, or he's out, can't play, and he plays the Super Bowl, plays a game like that, might be a sleeper. He might be a sleeper. Hey, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. We just doing it well out here. Rellism Sports Talk, episode 67. Tune in Friday night. Rellism Raw, episode 68, part 1 and part 2 with Tommy, Drew, Chris, Jamon, and hopefully some other special guests. Appreciate y'all. Rellism Sports Talk. Yeah. Enjoy them pudding pops.